CT is just amazing, and it's of course also got a lot of diversity in the CT. And this one alone is looking at some of the very, very fine CTs at the very end of the antennae of these soldier termites. So you might recall from second year insect science that the basic sort of structure of any insect antennae is three parts. You've got the scape, you've got the pedicel, and you've got the flagellum. And so, of course, you've got a pair of these. But really, the point I wanted to make here is that the diversity of CT, if you look at this image alone, right, and just look at this example of this CT over here, you'll notice that this one is sort of visually, when you look at this cell here, it's sort of the CT is sort of fused in with the epidermis. Whereas this CT over here, you'll notice that it sort of is in a socket. And so again, there's a lot of variety of CT. In the same way here, some of these ones labeled S1 here, you can see that they clearly have a very, very well-defined socket that has some space between the CT as well as the surrounding epidermis. And what that probably tells you is that there's a lot of flexibility in the CT to move within the socket, and that gives you a bit of a hint as to its function. I wanted now to then just do a little bit of revision of the specialized cell types that surround this socket. So a while ago, we talked about the epidermis, which is of course lined with epidermal cell, right? They are actually a living cellular layer. It just sits just beneath the cuticle, and in many ways they are responsible for secreting and maintaining that cuticle. So your proteins, your lipids, chitin, the epidermal cell creates these things, and in doing so achieves protection for the insect, some structural support, and prevents water loss. But then just beneath the epidermal cells are these other specialized cells like the tormogen cell, the trichogen cell. There are others, but these are the main two. I just want to quickly go through their function. So if we start with the trichogen cell, which you can see here drawn in this darker brown, that immediately surrounds the nerve cell. So it's actually a specialized type of epidermal cell, and it actually produces the CT, right? So this is the cell with the mechanism to produce the CT, and it synthesizes and shapes the hair shaft, right? And so the overarching function of this trichogen cell is to create that in the context of mechanosensation, chemoreception, defense, that sort of thing. Now, the tormogen cell is the one that envelops this complex of the nerve and the trichogen cell, and of course the CT itself. So the tormogen cell actually is the one that forms the socket, right? So there is a lining of cells that are programmed to form some kind of like a socket where that complex of the CT and the trichogen cell and the nerve cell can embed into. So it helps to anchor that structure. The role it plays is it allows that flexibility and movement of the CT during sensory stimulation.